Hey guys, and finally we got the branded deck done. And by the way, these are the things I can be using for branded. They actually look nice. And let's just finish. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell. Then to get a new video. We might be releasing some new ones. So let's get. And don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment down below if I should do another one. This might be the last one we're doing, because I was using further to get some of the card for printing some of the yes, I still I'm probably still in this deck because I don't own those cards. And the printer's starting to lose all some, I think. So if you guys want to see more, I'm gonna have to get more printers if you guys want to see I can go in there and do another deck profile. So let's get straight into this. For the monsters, we play a full playset of Albert, the Deer of Despia. Sorry, I'm butchering his name wrong. Basically, he's our branded searcher. He's really good free. He just serves as a branded spell or trap from a deck to a hand.
I just thought of a way you can make mozzarella sticks.
Okay, well, can you make sure you keep it down so I can make a video? Sorry about that. And you can see here, I got the 2 gold ones and 1 misprinted. And we don't use this other effect where we can balance it. I believe. We played 2 copies of Despia and Tragedy. We're tied pretty well. Just in Tragedy pretty good too, because it helps search our Despia monsters. And by wearing this full branded Despia blade steel as a full. This asserts our branded monsters, and if we can reset our we want to affect turn, which is useful. We do tend to use some effects. We do use the effect to search for a Destiny monsters, but the other effect it has, we can actually pop off by using. But anybody else let us add one branded spell when setting one branded spell and trap on our field by balancing it. It means you can balance it from our graveyard. Just set one branded spell or trap from our graveyard. Play 2 copies of the Fallen Albas. Did pretty well too. And basically, I does this. Basically, we hardly ever summon this, but if you want to, basically it's basically a super poly on legs. See what he does? 1 copy of a Lentis of Despia. Good, he's basically a monster born for your fusions. Okay, 1 copy of Dual Metal of Despia. Sorry if I'm butchering the name. Basically, he can bring yourself. Basically, he brings yourself out if you use it for a fusion material. Use it for fusion link or fusion synchro exceeds or link. So she brings herself right back with 1 turn, and she is also a negate in this deck. Really cool. We want to copy of Despia column tool. If I'm pronouncing it wrong, don't go spamming the comments. That's not how you pronounce the name. Well, I'm sorry, I'm not good at pronouncing names correctly. But basically, I believe he is also a quick effect. Target 1 month. Here. basically your opponent activates a card or effect that targets a face-up despia card. You control effect. Like you can and target one face-up despia who you control. You can target this effect. You can discard this card to negate. Basically, no, it's not. It's basically a card that protects your despia card. And then another quick effect: you can target one season monster that was one season special summon monster. This card you can only use one effect per turn. My bad. Play one copy of the Searing Dragon. The Searing Dragon, I was called. Basically, we can send him to graveyard. Depending on where you send him from reset. Basically, he has 2 effects, but we only use 1 effect per turn. Basically, if he sends from our hand to graveyard, we can draw 1. If we use the effect, if we use from the hand, we can just put him to the bottom deck and draw 1. If he's in the graveyard, we just shuffle it. I believe special summon him out. But pretty much he's just here for draw 1. Two copies of Branded Rebellion. I haven't fully checked out the deck, but this is a fun deck. Basically, what he does is you can send this card on the search. Basically, a branded spell trap. Very cool. Play 3 copies of Magnet. I think that's really good. And all the despia cards have the same effect. Extra date, where you can target 1 layer dark monster. I agree, special summon is a quick effect, but they all have their own separate effects. Where Magnemut considers a dragon on the end phase, and their background can basically give us some brand spells. If I'm saying some of the effects wrong, I have not fully done the play of this deck. Play 2 copies of Branded Service. No, of the Bystial Service. Service, extend when your spells from deck to graveyard once it's summoned. And for last of the you good too. For our last one, we play 1 copy of Branded Druid's Word. It would number 2, but because we're running some more, making more of a Branded Despia Bystial deck, I wanted to make it more appealing to that. So basically, if he sends from the field to graveyard, we can target 1 card on the field and destroy it. Really good. We play 2 copies of Edge and Chain to help us search our price for Packwork. This gives us more fusion plays for Poly. Play 1 copy of Raw Scythe for basically for Brand. His Rossel was just here for Brand Explosion, so we can lock our opponent into some special summoning, period. And Edge and Chain helps search our price for Packwork, so we search Poly to give us more stuff. Play 1 copy, and for our last month to play is Blazing Trail the Vero, if I'm pronouncing it. Basically, she is also a negate. She is also a negate, and she is also a tuner. So technically, if you want to play a synchro monster in this deck, you can. So once the Despia synchro monster comes out for this deck, and made a synchro monster for this deck. But that's it for the monsters. Let's get into spells. Sorry if I something is wrong, but she is also a effect negate. She's also a hand trap. For the spells, you play 2 copies of Fight for Patrick. Did pretty good too. I would bump it up to 3, but then play 2 copies of Polly. Easiest couple of saves from bricks. Play 1 copy of Call Ice, this is from hand traps. Play a full playset of Brand. Fusing because we can't, and basically let us fuse from our deck, from our hand, field, our deck. So it was really cool. But we gotta include all that. Really cool. Play a full playset of Brand opening. Basically, we discard 1 card to special 1 monster at least branded name, I believe. I have not fully read Brand open properly yet. Vectron, so and that's, but it also locks into something Fusion Monsters only. Basically, you discard 1 card, then you supposed to 1 moth, 1. We only selling despia, the journal of despia. Off this card, you can basically spell stuff with the defense, and we can get that. And it's a quick play spells. We can do it on their turn for funny business. Pay 1 copy of Branded, and plus we do send this off to graveyard to protect, because we can banish to protect your fusion monsters. Pay 1 copy of Branded Lost to help us protect our Branded Fusion from stuff. Play 1 copy of Branded Retribution. Basically during the battle phase, if we have we shuffle one light or dark monster from our banner zone into our deck. It's worked pretty well. We only need 1 copy, and it helps work well with our deck. Play 1 copy of the Phoenix spell, just be of the Branded. Basically, it's basically a fusion spell for us. It's basically another fusion card for us. Some level 8 or higher fusion monster from our deck. Works pretty well. I didn't know that card. Ooh, we turn 1 of the way in your graveyard. Oh, it's also a monster bar for our deck monsters. I did not know that. Play 1 copy of Brand Red, so we can fuse it on their turn. Fuse summon on their turn. Play 2 copies of Super Poly, because we only need Super Poly at 2, because we're not playing that much for Super Poly targets, even though we would be being free, because all the branded stuff are basically a Super Poly. With Super Poly. For last month, we do play 1 copy of Fool's Barrel to help us send Despia and Tragedy to graveyard to help us get that. And pretty much that's it for the spells. Let's get into the traps. For the traps, we run 1 copy of Branded Banishment. Basically, let's target 1 Despia monster with level 8 or higher. Fusion monster in our graveyard, special basically another monster born, and plus we now it's basically a Super Poly trap version kind of, because after that we can fuse them 1 fusion monster using both field. Very cool. Take 1 copy of Branded Beast. I have not seen what this card has done yet. It's pretty good. During the main phase, if this basically, yeah, it helps us with brand stuff. I have not figured out what this card does, so I'm not having to see what this card does yet. But if you want to see what the card is, look at Dark Arm Duelist to see how well it works. Dark Arm Duelist runs it. And for the last trap, we play 1 copy of Brand Explosion. Basically, a Brand Explosion is you send 1 fusion monster from your that you control to the graveyard. You treat 1 fusion monster you control field to the graveyard. Then you target 2 non-fusion monsters that were not playing. And if you happen to send a few monsters missing fawn Albaz's name for his material, you can send them both to your field. But basically, what we're trying to focus on is sending brawlers out to their field. We use some roster for their field, so they cannot summon, and we use it for something else. And that's it for the traps. Let's get into the spells. And sorry to you see in the background, my sister's cooking herself some to eat. For the extra deck, and that's it for the main deck. Let's get into the extra. Big 2 copies of Mirror Jade. He is really cool. Because one of any monster from the extra deck. Of course, one Elvis and one Link Seas or Fusion monster from the basically 2 minutes of core pendulum to basically do all the summoning. Except for basically what he does, you can send target one more. You quick effect, like you send one monster at least for Abaz in his name for the material. Then you pass one card your opponent control. And it does not target, which is really cool. And if this card is ever used, if the end phase when this card leaves the field during the end phase, is basically a rocket key with legs if it's ever going to get destroyed. Really cool. But 2 copies of Rebellion, the Syrian Dragon. That's really cool. Basically, you see what he does. He basically brings back some monster. We can shuffle back some monsters from the graveyard or bank, or ban zone or field. If it's fusing one layer lower fusion monster using our field, bans, or graveyard. Sadly, this card could not attack during the turn it was summoned. So we basically, once you get out, we use Brand Explosion to get deal with it. Get rid of it. Post turn. Play 2 copies of Albert the branded dragon. Basically, basically our Raws are light target. Our only light targets, so we send Raw's grade to summon out this. Really cool. It does work pretty well. Basically, he's basically a miracle fusion on legs for branded. Basically, once the card fuses, basically these two, once they're both fused, then they'll both do the same effect differently. Basically, what this one does, once you can ban two monsters. You can use the one level fusion monster by banning fields from your field or graveyard. And made us use this to make it to Rebellion. Use the Rebellion like by softening back Elbaz and him into Mirror Jade. See, that's how we do it. We use this. We send all that basically for our brand stuff. Let's go brand fusion. Send this. Basically send Elbaz and Raw. Like that. Game use his effect to bounce Elbaz and him. To make Rebellion. Then back, shuffle back those two, make Mirror Jade, has Brand Explosion set, and pretty much that's what we do. Get that all set up. Play 1 copy of Titanclad, the Ass Dragon, and he is just here to, and he's really good, one to help us go for OTK. Basically, he requires 1 LS and 1 monster, 25 or higher attack points, and due to number of levels. Using due to number of levels, that's how much attack he'll gain. So basically, it's just that basically if you have Albaz is level 4 and you have this fusion up for the level 12 monster, you can get him pretty high to like you can gain like about can gain 1600 attack points. Very cool. He's an effective extra deck cards. You don't use a great effect. We do use Albion great effect. We're basically we just set our Abrams from our deck, and basically we balance this to set the brand explosion. We send that upgrade to set the brand explosion. Play one copy of Abilitist. The last one requires fallen allies in this deck. Don't worry about the beating. It'll go away soon. And this requires one Albaz and one Dragon. Basically, it's basically a good card. I may recently I normally use this for its great effect, but I never use it for the main deck effect. For the main art effect. So I basically have not been fully. Basically, it's really good. By her, we'll be playing more despia card. I would love to be playing. If we were able to make it more of a brandy deck, but since it's more very super pally cards instead of like monster critical. If I was gonna make more brand, but I was taking Mud Dragon and purpose just play if I'm making more Elbaz. Basically, if he hits 10% to graveyard, he can search your a poly or a normal fusion spell. He could search brand a fusion with him. Now I never summon him on the field before, because I hardly played this deck, to be honest. I think the last time I played this deck was on Nexus. So I'm pretty sure you're supposed to basically. Yep, and last time I ever played this deck was on Nexus, so it's been a while since I played this deck. And I'm pretty much sure if I ever done with him, I just send him to graveyard. So that's pretty much all he's here for. Just that. Play 2 copies of. For the despia stuff. We're on the despia now. 2 copies of. Master Blaze. Mouse in wrong. Basically, as a monster, basically having to breathe for 600. Basically, make our monster play a 600 points to basically activate anything. Really funny. It's easy to make her 1 despia monster and 1 light or dark, and basically make our opponents breathe. Let's breathe for 10. That's the effect. Really cool, what I have done before. I'm not seen use this one for his mate. I never used some of them on the field, so I don't fully know. So I may just use it for his great effect. So he's pretty good. Summon. Play 1 copy of despia, Despian Quinta. If I'm not saying it wrong. I have not summoned her yet. Yeah, during the main phase, that's a quick effect where you can change the attack of a monster. Oh, unless you change attack on a monster on the field. See, I am not some of this guy, so I'm still learning with this deck. I am not fully sure how far this deck can do. So if I don't know what some of the effects do, I am sorry. So I'm still learning with this deck. I may be playing Siren Dragon, so I'm still new to brand. I haven't learned some of the combos yet, but I know this is a good combo right here. I'll probably figure out So once I get more of a combo, I'll be doing a test. I'll be showing a hand once I share what majority of the combos are with this deck. That means I'll be playing this deck a little bit more to figure out how this deck goes. Because I've been mainly playing Cyber Dragons. You guys have seen my videos. I've been mainly playing Cyber Dragons. I wanted to give a new deck, finally step behind Cyber Dragons and give something new a try. So this deck, I am still a little bit learning of what it does. Basically, I know some of the cards, so I'm still learning because some of them I have not used them yet. So I'm still learning. If anyone wants to send me a video on how to play branded, I would love to see that. I might be learning some tips and tricks. Basically, basically, if I happen to go to here, I'll just show you guys. Guys, if I go on to next, before I go back, see, wrong place. If I go to my decks, I go see majority of my decks I'm planning to make, but I'm not planning to. But if we go here, see, here's the monster I'm showcasing, and oh, so that's the printing did not give me the word forward. Basically, what he does is basically has a quick effect where you can change the attack of all monsters on the feet. Oh, okay. You look to 0, except for level 8 or higher fusion monsters until the end phase. I did not know it. I forgot. Okay, my bad. I have not fully been reading this. I'm just saying this to help me out with reading a little bit. Help me out so easy to. And basically, I have not summoned this out yet. So basically, here's what he does. If you're wondering what, but he hardly does anything to help us out. Basically, what this card does is, so basically how make our monster goes 0. Our opponent's monster goes down to 0. Really cool, except for like a higher fusion monsters. So basically now we know what it does. So basically that's the assault. For the last card we might have to take a look at is basically despia bystial stick, if I'm pronouncing it. Basically this card. That's why I'm not. That's why I basically pronounced it wrong. And basically, wait. I'm going to show this so you guys can see what they do. I'm not planning to show Psychic, but you guys wondering what a Psychic will look like. This Psychic is looking pretty good. Master is just here basically for Flutter. Flutter can still be somewhat. I still think Flutter. Basically, as a quick effect, you can target one fusion link exceeds our pendulum. When fusion synchro exceeds our link monster in your opponent's graveyard, bans it or throws summon to your field, basically. And this card destroys opponent's monster by battle. You can inflict the damage to your opponent. Oh, I never summoned this card, guys, so I'm still learning what some of these cards do. Okay, so now I know what it does. Now I know what the card does. Sorry guys, you have sold it, but I have not used this card yet. When I went down this side, when I was printing these cards, look what happened to him. He did not come out correctly. Same with him. Well, the rest came out correctly, right? But besides that, they are all good. And for the last, and that's it. And that's basically all the despia cards we play. For me, the super poly targets, I'm going to do the ones I need, you know. Pay 1 copy of Plant Drago Stupelia. He is really good at 1. Basically, once per turn, we can target 1 face-up monster, place a predator count, and negate the effect. It is a quick effect that we can do at an higher turn. It becomes level 1. Basically, and you can only target monster, and basically, it only gets a predator counter It does still give you a predator counter, but it only becomes level 1 if you're attacking a level 2 or higher. If you target a level 2 or higher monster. And that's pretty much it. You can use one effect per turn, I believe. It's also a soft turn, which basically if you want to be funny, you can technically use 2 if you want to be. But I would only suggest 2 if you're playing more of a branded prototype deck, which I am not going to be building because I don't think I am ever going to be building that version. Play 1 copy of Mud Dragon. And he is really good. He is basically negates. I believe. Yeah. You make him come 1 attribute. Make him come 1 attribute during either pretty basic. Become their 1 attribute and become this normal monster. And then basically leave it negates the effects if you just want to go double check to make sure if I'm correct. Yep. I'll be you guys wondering what the card fully does if I'm not fully figuring out what it does. And this is what the deck does look like. I know it would look better if it was, but it looked pretty well. And for last, we play is Gruga Chimera Gruga. And basically, if you look up here, is the last card I have to look up for this card. What it does. Basically, requires free one. You can only use monsters from your hand and field. And if this card defeats them by a spell or effect, you can draw a card. You draw a card. Effect to the number of cards you use as material. So basically, I believe since card free monsters different names, so I believe you can easily draw free cards off of this card. Which will be really cool. Technically, we can use super play. Fuse materials used from the hand. Oh, so technically we're using 1 for it. And if you destroy a card your opponent controls, those effect to you can use 1 effect of him for turn. With polymerization in the graveyard, your opponent cannot target this card with effects. I did not know that. I have never thrown this monster out, guys, so it's new to me. Yeah, I have never thrown this monster out with me, guys. But yeah, this deck is actually what I'm having to show you guys. So we just read here, so we know what some of these cards do, because I have not summoned some of these cards. So yeah, that's it for the deck. If you guys plan to see a test count, I have to go through and see how well this deck works. But we'll see how well it does. I'll see you guys in the next episode. And I will be testing this deck before I be doing some test counts to see how well this deck will work. So see you guys in the next episode. And hope you like the deck profile. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more of these deck profiles. So yeah, comment down below if you still do. See you guys in the next episode. Goodbye.